What if I told you that discipline has nothing to do with forcing yourself to do hard things and everything to do with focusing on the right thing? I've closed more than 17 million in sales online, I've coached 8-figure businesses to hit revenue highs, and I've worked with some of the biggest names online. I did it without any motivation or Tony Robbins seminars. So if you ever wondered how to follow through, how to stop getting in your own way, how to stay consistent without self-sabotaging, I'm here to tell you how to actually build self-confidence. And the first thing you need to do is trap yourself into success, which is my way of saying forcing yourself to win by cutting off any escape paths. And I'll tell you what I mean in a second. Most people fail to build discipline because they give themselves too many outs. They say they'll work on their business when they feel motivated or when they have time, but motivation is a luxury. You need to burn any escape exits you have behind you and force yourself into situations where failure isn't an option. All you do is create personal imprisonment. An example can be go somewhere public and commit to never leaving that spot until the work that you need to do gets done. Because your brain can't negotiate or give excuses to consequences. A quick story time. I was forced into mandatory military service when I was 25, and those brutal months taught me something that most entrepreneurs would never think of. We got exactly 5 hours of freedom every maybe 3 to 5 days. While other guys were hitting bars, going after girls, or sleeping, I would march straight into a coffee shop. I would order myself one coffee because that was all I could afford at the time, and make myself one promise. I'm not gonna leave this chair unless I finish writing this sales letter. No exceptions. If I didn't honor that commitment to myself, I'd return to base probably late, having wasted not only my free day, but probably facing military jail. Some days, I sat there for 4 straight hours, not even going to the bathroom, fighting through writer's block, fighting through fatigue, fighting through every excuse my brain could come up with. The baristas probably thought I was some sort of freak, but here's what happened. After years of forcing myself to work, I couldn't help not follow through because I brainwashed myself into when I make a commitment, escape isn't just an option. That discipline muscle, forced in stained coffee shop chairs with military consequences looming, became the foundation of everything I built forward. So my tidbit for you to take away is when escape isn't an option, excellence becomes inevitable. But locking yourself in is useless if you can't focus. Because I've watched people sit in coffee shops for hours, physically trapped, but mentally scrolling through Instagram, basically torturing themselves without getting anything done, rotting their brain. So if you can't control and focus when work goes hard, you're just a prisoner of your own distractions. That's why you need to master number 2, the 5-second rule. I literally see people daily failing to build discipline because they hesitate for far too long. They get an impulse to do something productive like work out, make that call, start that project, and then their brain kicks in with all the reasons why they should wait, why it's not the right time, why they don't feel like it, but there's an easy fix. You need to act before hesitation kills your impulse, because that's exactly what the 5-second rule is for. The moment you feel that spark to take action, you count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you physically move your body before your brain can talk you out of it. I taught this to one of my sales reps. This guy was brilliant at strategy, but terrible at executing. He had great ideas during meetings, but would never follow through. Every time he got fired up to take action, he would hesitate just long enough and to do something else. The next time he felt that impulse to make an important call, instead of thinking about it, I showed him to count 5 seconds, pick up the phone before he could stop himself, and just do the freaking thing. That one tiny action led him to create endless momentum of sales. But more importantly, he saw that the gap between thinking and doing was where all his potential was actually lying. Because your brain is designed to protect you. It's made to make you feel safe and comfortable. So when you have an impulse to do something challenging, it tries to protect you. It's literally stopping you by creating hesitation. So when you count down, you use the 5-second rule, you bypass the protection mechanism entirely. Now, once you have the 5-second rule in place, you need to make sure you maintain that focus. And this is why number 3 is filtering what you can control. Channel your energy where it counts. Because discipline gets destroyed when you waste energy fighting battles you can't win. The weather, other people's opinions, traffic, your childhood, your genetics, your trauma. Instead of focusing on the things that you can control, you're bleeding energy on things that you can't. Think of your mental energy like water flowing through a hose. If there are leaks everywhere, barely any water will reach your garden. But when you patch the leaks, you get full pressure exactly where you point the hose. The moment you feel frustrated or stuck, ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, redirect your attention to what is within your control, your effort, your attitude, your next action. This isn't about being passive or accepting mediocrity. It's about becoming ruthlessly efficient with your energy so you can dominate your areas where you have power. But having control over your actions means nothing if you don't know what actions do actually matter. And this is why number 4 is waking up with intention. Connect to your why before you connect with the world and everyone else's checklist. Your phone and the outside world are designed to pull you into reactive mode from the moment you wake up. But discipline means you need to be intentional about the actions that you take. And you can't do that if you start the day with other people's problems. So start each day aligned with your deeper purpose instead of just responding to whoever screams the loudest. This way, your actions truly build something meaningful. Here's what changed everything for me. I used to wake up and immediately grab my phone, check emails or Slack notifications. And that meant I was immediately sucked into other people's situation before I even thought about my goals. I was letting someone else's agenda hijack my entire day. And now I ask myself one question first. What am I created to do today? Some days it's just writing content and posts that helps entrepreneurs scale. Some days it's just being fully present with my wife and family. Some days it's having tough conversations that move my work forward. But I'm always moving forward through my purpose instead of just reacting to chaos. This isn't about some mystical spiritual ayahuasca practice. It's about taking literally 60 seconds to remember you're building discipline in the first place. What vision are you working toward? Who are you becoming? The reality is we're all human. We aren't perfect. We're not designed to be perfect. So knowing your purpose is worthless if you don't know how to recover when you fall short. So this is what I use. I use a 30-second reset. Fail fast, rise faster. Here's the brutal truth. You will mess up. You will skip workouts. You'll eat the wrong food. You'll procrastinate. You'll get maybe a little bit fatter. But most people destroy their discipline with the shame that comes after these mistakes. They beat themselves up for days, months, years. Instead of getting back on track and in action, you need to become anti-fragile, which is using setbacks as rocket fuel instead of letting them vanish like a firework. One bad choice quickly becomes a bad week or a bad month. Research shows that self-compassion, loving yourself instead of criticizing yourself, prevents continued procrastination. The people who recover the fastest from mistakes, they treat themselves like a good friend going through the same situation. Would you beat up your friend if she messed up? When I mess up my morning routine now, I spend 30 seconds acknowledging that it happened, and I immediately ask, okay, where do we go from here? It's like having a reset button for your day. You don't waste hours feeling guilty about the past, you focus on what you can control in front of you. This single skill, like the ability to reset quickly, will save you more time and energy than any productivity hack you will ever learn. So use failures as your fuel. But without a system to learn from every setback, you'll keep making the same mistakes over and over. So you need to study your personal patterns like a scientist. So number 6 is review yourself daily. End the day smarter than you started it. Because discipline without self-awareness is wasted work. You might be working hard, but you're not necessarily improving. So study your patterns, how you're showing up, how you're working, how you're not working, and this is how you become 1% each day. This develops what Marcus Aurelius called the rational soul. Self-awareness, self-examination, self-determination. Every day becomes data for building a stronger you. Think of this like being your own coach reviewing game film. You're not watching to beat yourself up, but you spot the patterns that make you unstoppable next time you're on the field. So here are 3 questions to use that will change your life. Number 1, what went well today? Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. What could I improve? Identify specific breakdown points. Number 3, what will I do differently tomorrow? Create one specific adjustment. This takes 2 minutes maximum, but it compounds into massive improvements over time. You start seeing patterns you never noticed. You discover which environments support your discipline and which ones sabotage it. And you stop repeating the same mistakes and you're actually learning from them. This is why data always overpowers willpower. Now, if you want to know the 40 brutal truths about sales I wish I knew in my 20s, go watch this video right here, and I'll see you there.